Well, hello. Welcome to my humble abode. It is the High Noon broadcast of Pugs and Company, heard each and every Monday through Friday at noon. We go to about 2 o'clock, and we also do another broadcast. We call that the Pillow Talk. You can join us at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. That occurs when? Well, that is a good question. I'm telling you. We've been out in the field. We've got polls out, and when that Pillow Talk show airs, programming note: starting on Monday. That's Monday. The Pillow Talk show will start airing at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. It'll be going from 9 to 11 as opposed to what it's been 10 to midnight. It'll be 9 to 11. For no other reason than why not? We can do whatever we want. And I'll tell you what I want is maybe an extra hours of sleep at night. So that's pretty much the main thing. Hey, look at what we got. Boy, that's the way to chase off anybody that was just checking in for the first time. Hey, the fat guy on camera just belched up his Egg McMuffin. Let's bring in James from New Orleans. Look at him. There he is.
Beautiful intro. It's very poetic and
it came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah, I got to walk into that. Thanks.
Do you know why that happens? I can tell you why that happens. Because normal people in their normal daily conversations with others do not do what I just did. They don't do, hey, James Parker. My body is reacting to this crazy sort of, air long talks without taking a normal breath. When you have a conversation with somebody around a water cooler, you don't talk like a host opening a show. So that's why I tend to burp. My body's like, hey, that's not normal. That's not how people communicate. If you're going to do that, then we're going to say hello too. And I go, brr. How are you, James?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's good to be here, except for these horrible gastrointestinal noises that you're putting in my head, because like this earpiece is really intimate and you're just
the promise from me to you, the fine viewer, listener, whatever the hell you want to call yourselves. I'm going to try and keep that to a minimum. Let's see. So a little bit of housekeeping. Woke up today. Hey, by the way, you can help support the show. It's that time of the month again. Well, I didn't mean it like that. You know what I mean? You can help support the show, which means you can help support me doing the show. We accept tips. We accept anything. All of the little apparati there that you can use to support the show is clearly visible. So please help out if you can. And we'll try not to do that very often. But, end of the month, what's all I can tell you about that? End of the month. Woke up this morning, Carlos and April from last night. They helped out. Thank you so much, Carlos and April. So, be a Carlos and April. Also, look.
Thank you, Carlos and April.
Yeah. I also understand that, that's just not in the cards for a lot of people. This show is done for free. This show is done, for, if you can support monetarily, that's great. But that is not the only way that you can show support for the show. You can do as the kids say, if you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe, you can like, you can share. They always point down. I don't know. Is that like, if you
that's where the caption is. That's where the buttons are.
It's also where the links are if you want to donate monetarily to help support the show. So that works out. So you can do that. And also just share it. When you see something, if you follow me on Twitter at Pugs and Co. or on Facebook, which I don't even know what my Facebook name is. Pugs and Company. Yeah, on Facebook. When you see something like that on Pugs and Company on Facebook, just share it, man. Just, spread it out there. Let people know what's happening. All right. So as you may have noticed, E, the artist, is not here today, which is fine. This is a fluid show, but we are blessed to have the presence of one James Parker live from New Orleans, Louisiana. James, welcome in.
Thank you. Awesome.
Did you
do that?
Did your camera freeze? Oh, yeah, your camera.
Oh no, I'm here. It should be fine.
Oh, there you are now. Yeah, you froze on my end for a second there. But
okay.
That's okay. All right. So first of all, let's get things started. Do you have a monologue?
I can do the same from yesterday.
Nah, that's all right. It's all right.
Pulled it out the trash.
Yeah, but that's all right. It wasn't so great yesterday. Besides, we got a lot of stuff we got to get into. Unless you want to. Look, sad face on James Parker in New Orleans.
No,
I'll,
it's all right. It's all right. I just pulled it
ooh,
out the trash and everything. This is how highly I thought of the segment. I'm going to
I'll,
do it off of trash.
I'll tell you what. Jeff Glenn once was enough. That's fine.
Oh, well, then never mind. Back to the trash it goes. Hey,
James, who was the regular co-host on the Pillow Talk show, we open each and every Pillow Talk edition with James's monologue. It's a little nightclubby segment that we like to do, and it's become a fan favorite. All 5 people who have said they like it are in agreement on that. So,
well,
we're going to keep doing it. Yeah. The other people, they have not really chimed in, but 5 people, I've gotten 5 direct messages from people that say they like that segment. So, that's
yeah.
a good.
Well, after about 4 or 5 monologues, you start to get the point that, like, oh, all these jokes aren't good.
Yeah. All right, let me tell you about what we're going to talk about before we break into the nonsense that typically overtakes whatever it is I've had planned. Let's see. We got multiple moments of joy today. One for me and one for you. We've got some breaking Texas news trending today that we're going to have to get into. Elon Musk is trending. Now, Elon Musk is trending alongside tits. So we'll explain why that's happening. Yeah, Elon Musk and tits is trending. Also, breaking Dallas Cowboy news. The fans always like that. Let's see. A boy bander apparently beat up his supermodel girlfriend's mom. Ooh, we'll find out who, what, and
What'd
where.
the mom do?
What's that?
What'd the mom do?
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to frame that. You're going to understand that. You're going to understand the dynamic there as soon as I tell you who the people are and what the mom is. We're going to talk about somebody named Fetty Wap.
Yeah, I love Fetty Wap.
Oh, you're familiar with Fetty Wap?
Well, Fetty Wap hadn't been a thing for like 5 years, but he's a rapper, and he's the one that has like the missing eye.
Yeah, he's a thing today because of something that happened. So
what did Fetty Wap do?
Well,
I don't know any of this stuff. I've been working all morning.
That's why you have to stay tuned. Also, let's see, what else do we have here? We've got a birthday. We've got a girl celebrating a birth. We'll get into that right here. So I'm not really going to tease that. And also, we'll talk about new words that have been added to the Webster's dictionary. Words that I'm grappling with. I don't know what any of these words. They're just words that have been made up in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
They're now apparently dictionary worthy. But we like to start each and every day with telling you what the hell the big day today is. Do you know what today is? You know what today is? National what day? Do you know what today is?
Today is National Hot Dog Appreciation Day.
No, that's in July.
Damn it. Today is this is National Wear Your Socks to Bed Day.
No, it's National Cat Day.
Oh, I love that one. Yes, kitty cats.
Yeah, all right.
Yes, kitty cats. I'm on Team Kitty.
October the 29th, year of our Lord 2021. October the 9th, did you know, fun fact, 302nd day of the year, there are 63 days remaining.
Don't do this. Don't do that. I hate it when people do that.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm
Okay.
doing it. Maybe that'll make
Well, you're doing it. You're doing it ironically, I hope.
I'm doing it. There are nothing ironic about it.
Oh, you don't care that there's 63 days left
I
in the
do.
year.
I find, dude, I love the fun fact.
Okay.
I love there are 63 days left remaining in the year, and there are 57 days remaining until Christmas. Yeah, I'm going to do a Christmas countdown because Christmas is awesome. So just be prepared for that. Every day you're going to get yourself an update.
People complain about Christmas music and Christmas crap being everywhere, but it works.
Yeah.
It's great for ratings. It's great for sales. It's great for if you have a business to have a Christmas special, even in October.
Dude,
so
if you
shut up, y'all all like Christmas, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with Christmas, and nobody's trying to steal Christmas. The Grinch tried, failed miserably. Who is?
The Grinch is.
Yes, yeah, but
isn't he a Muslim? The Grinch
failed miserably. The Grinch. Yes, the Grinch is. No, actually.
Like Sufi Muslim or something. It's not like a mainstream sect.
Muslim. No, but he is an AOC supporter. So that we know. We do know that. Let's see here. Oh, today is a very big day in American history. Do you know what today is? October the 29th. October the 29th. October the 29th.
I don't.
Black Tuesday. It's the day the stock Wall Street crashed.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
1929, the crash of Wall Street that ushered in the Great Depression. People were jumping out of windows. Everybody lost everything, even though by volume, it was like a very small stock market by today's standards. I mean, it was like 5 people went broke, and they were like the 5 richest people in the country. That's pretty much it. So
Yeah, but then if you could only afford like 2 horse carriages instead of 5,
yeah.
who can go back to that standard of living?
Yeah. Also in this day, another big bad day. This is a bad anniversary day for New York City. What,
Okay.
2012? What happened on this day in 2012?
Oh, is that dude from Argentina, or got hit in the park? Like the dude rolled up on the car? Superstorm Sandy?
Superstorm Sandy is correct. He got it on this day in 2012. Superstorm Hurricane Sandy walloped the eastern coast of the United States, and particularly taking advantage of the low-lying areas of New York, Manhattan, and Long Island. There you go. That's it. That's all I got. And it's National Cat Day. So there's that.
All right, you want to riff on what's going on in my world?
Yeah, what's going on? Well, should we do our moment of joy first, or do you want to do that?
No, moment of joy first.
Moment of joy
Because
first.
this will take a second.
Yeah. Each and every day, we like to do a little moment of joy, something to put you in a good mood. So, as I said, we've got 2 today. 2 moments of joy today. One for you and one for me. Let's start with the one for me, because that's just how I roll. Here we go. Last night in Chicago, the Chicago Bulls taking on the New York Knicks. Now, this was a very big... James, are you a basketball fan? Are you an NBA fan? Because this was a very cool thing that happened yesterday.
I'm a casual fan. I don't watch it.
Casual fan, certainly not a
anymore.
hardcore Chicago Bulls fan. So
Hell
Chicago Bulls history, you go as deep as maybe you could name 2 Jordan Bulls, right? Pippen and Jordan, and that's pretty much Rodman.
Oh, I can name Horace Grant and Tony Kukoc and BJ Armstrong
Hey,
and
Tony Kukoc days.
John Paxson, and then John Paxson Part 2, also known as Steve Kerr.
Yeah, yes, very
Right.
good.
I know a little bit.
Yeah, you do. You go deeper than most people do. So yesterday at the Chicago Bulls game, they welcomed in the New York Knicks. Now, for anybody who's an NBA purist, you know that the league is always better when the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks hate each other, and they're both good. And both, it's true.
Right.
It's certainly
It's the raw truth, but yeah.
Certainly the networks love it, because those are big ratings markets, and they love to be able to promote Knicks versus Bulls hatred. And it goes all the way back to the let's be honest, the only time they were both good at the same time was in the 90s, when Patrick Ewing and John Stark were taking on Jordan and Pippen and all that. But that hasn't been the case in quite some time. Both teams have sucked. But both teams have very young, very good, very talented teams. They're threatening to be rivals again in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. And last night at Chicago Stadium, the Bulls welcomed in the New York Knicks, and it just happened to have been, now tell me how cool this is. It just happened to have been Joakim Noah Day, who, if you're unfamiliar, Joakim Noah is a beloved player from the early Chicago Bulls. Nobody played harder. He was all heart. He was a fan favorite. Joakim Noah, honestly, he's probably my 2nd or 3rd favorite all-time Chicago Bull, which is
he was on everybody's radar in that last Final Four tournament he was in, where he basically carried his entire team. What was he, like Gonzaga or some like mid-major?
Oh, Florida. He won 2 national championships with Florida. Yeah. Florida hasn't been good since.
Amazing run, in college.
So last night, the Chicago Bulls welcomed back Joakim Noah. It was a big deal all over Chicago sports radio and all that stuff. And here's how they made this all come together. How great is this? So it's Joakim Noah night at Chicago Stadium. The New York Knicks are in town. The current coach of the Chicago Bulls is Billy Donovan, who was his college coach at Florida, who won 2 national titles with him, right? So that's good. That's a nice tie-in. But the New York Knicks come in. The New York Knicks are coached by Tom Thibodeau, who was his coach with the Bulls when they were good with the Bulls in the 90s.
Oh, no.
Yes. So you had his 2 coaches, the 2 people he calls his father figures, other than his actual father, who is former tennis great, and I believe French Open champion Yannick Noah. Now, do you know anything about Yannick Noah? Have you ever heard of Yannick?
That name rings no bells in my head.
Well, he was in the 80s. He was a tennis player who was very, very good, and he was also very curious because he was a dreadlocked black tennis player. He was kinda like the Tiger Woods of tennis, if you will.
The Eminem of tennis?
If Arthur Ashe hadn't existed, he would have been the Tiger Woods of tennis. But
That's called the Bizarro Eminem.
the reason that Yannick Noah became really famous is because he perfected the under the legs back shot.
Oh, love that.
Where he would turn his back running backwards, and then he would return serve.
How do I not know this guy?
He was like, he's awesome.
Okay.
Yannick Noah. That's Joe Kim's dad. And his mom is Joe Kim Noah is a weird looking dude, and his dad is like a really handsome tennis pro who married Miss Sweden. And then the combination of those two created a fuddly looking Joe Kim Noah. It was like genetics went in reverse.
How hot is Miss Sweden in a year?
Yeah, but she's an older woman now, and
Well, of course.
yeah, but back when he was playing with the Bulls, it was always like, hey, Yannick's mom's hot. Like 15 years ago, it was like, you see Yannick's mom in the stadium? She's like 50, she's hot. So, okay, so you got his two coaches on the floor for this game for Yannick Noah Day. And then the New York Knicks bring to town Derrick Rose, his best friend in the whole world, and Taj Gibson, another one of his buddies from those Bulls teams. I mean, it was just a great night. Everything came together. The opposing team was full of players that loved him and played with him. The opposing team was coached by his pro coach, who he is very close with to this day. And the home team that's honoring him is coached by his college coach, who he calls his father figure. So here's the reason for this moment of joy. This was really nice. This was last night at the Bulls game. This is when a timeout was called, and the New York Knicks brought in for the game former Chicago Bulls stars and fan favorites on Joe Kim Noah night, Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson. Let's watch. Here they come.
Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson, both receiving ovations.
Look at that. Chicago. For the other team. There's D. Rose.
Most valuable player back in 2011 at 22 years of age.
Rose, of course, a native of Chicago.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. That was for me. That was my moment of joy for me. That was a good moment. And then when D. Rose came to the free throw line for the Knicks, the entire stadium started chanting MVP, MVP for the opposing player. He is still loved. And the way Derrick Rose's time ended was just tragic. One of the great Chicago sports tragedies. I mean, we've got Gale Sayers. His career being ended by a knee injury. Then you had Derrick Rose in the Eastern Conference Final.
Is that what did him in? It was a knee injury?
Oh, yeah. A knee injury, then almost 2 years of rehab. And then when he came back, he wasn't all there. Derrick Rose has reinvented himself. He is one of the best role players in the NBA right now. And when everybody thought 5-6 years ago that you'd never see him play again, they thought that he'd walk with a limp for the rest of his life. And D. Rose is back. So that was really nice when he showed. Well, he's been back a couple of years. Let's not kid ourselves. But for this particular thing, it was awesome. It was so cool. I got chills watching. I'm sitting here watching the Bulls. And then the game was spectacular. Dude, I'll put it to you this way. The New York Knicks were up 12 points with 2 minutes left on the clock. They were up 12 points with 2 minutes left on the clock. And the Bulls came back and they lost. The Bulls lost on a last-second shot that rimmed in and out. Down 12 points. Down 12 points with 2 minutes left in the game. And it came down to a final shot that rimmed in and out. I mean, what a game. What a great game. All right, now, here, I promised one for me and one for you. Here is the second moment of joy. This one I think we can all get behind. This is a uniting one. It's Halloween. Who doesn't love animals and costumes? Check out these dog costumes. Look at these little pandas. Here comes another one. Oh, look at him. He's running. He wants to catch up. Hello, little guy.
That's funny.
Little panda.
That's so cute. I could throw up.
Oh,
God, that's hilarious.
Oh, they got more.
Oh, my God.
Come get it, little guy. Oh, hello, little guy. And typically, I don't like these kinds of dogs. I like big dogs. But look at him run. Look at him go.
So you know how like we were talking on a previous show about wouldn't you like to be able to know what animals are saying or thinking or whatever when you be able to when you like to communicate with animals. See, this is the counter example of that because right now this is freaking adorable so much that my face is about to melt off of
Oh,
my
they got
head.
little lion costumes.
I know. It's you're so scary.
Look
You
at all
look
these
like the little
lions.
king of the jungle. Oh, you look like a big old scary panda gonna rip my face off.
No. Oh, here comes his friend. Hey, wait for me.
Okay, so now
Oh,
here's the problem with it though. Like Parker, how could you possibly ruin this gorgeous moment of absolute utter cuteness?
yeah.
Because if you could talk to these dogs, what if in their head right now, like you put on the little collar from the Last Starfighter or whatever, and you can understand everybody, and they're like, "Ding."
Yeah.
And so, what do you think about your costume, dogs? And they're like, "Kill me, kill me.
No.
This sucks.
Oh, they're
Oh
not.
my god." I
No,
feel like such a fruitcake. This is so embarrassing. Get
no.
it off me. It's uncomfortable. It sucks. I hate it. I hate you. I wish I was dead.
No. Always leaning into the negative. Look at you. Do you know what
Not
I mean?
always. Not
Well,
always. I'm just asking about the possibility of that negative.
well, here's what they're thinking. Mommy, can I wear this every day? No, it's only for Halloween. Mommy, what's Halloween? Yeah, so that's what's going on. They like it. You have to believe that they like it. Otherwise, you're a monster of a
Yeah.
pet owner. if you believe what James believes, you're a monster.
Kill me. It's like in Aliens when they find the chick that's like all gooed up on the wall in the webs, and she lifts her head and she's still awake. She's like, "Kill me," and then the alien pops out of her.
Yeah.
That's what the dogs are thinking. Just God, kill me now. Just please. This is torturous. I'd rather be waterboarded.
I'm not going to go there with you. All right, James, what do you got? You got something you want to get into?
Okay, so first we're gonna make fun of me for a second.
Oh, always fun.
Yeah. So I'm in a transitionary phase. My wife and kids on Wednesday moved back to Texas.
Right,
And so,
because taking on a new job and you got to pack up the studio there. There's probably going to be some interruption in your presence on the show. I'm anticipating.
not much.
Okay.
I still got to work, dude. I got to keep the studio running.
Okay.
Papa's got to get paid.
So you're bacheloring it.
Sort of. I have to stay here and like we got a new roof this week, and I have to like oversee all like the fixing up the house to get it ready to sell, and we got to get it painted, and I got to get everything moved. So I'm gonna be here for about another month. My wife and kids left Wednesday early morning. Here it is 2 days later, and I have already transitioned into this sort of caveman-like existence
Okay.
that is a lot like what I had in bachelorhood.
Okay.
And did you
Sounds
ever
like what I have now? Go ahead.
Okay, but did you ever live by yourself? Like no roommates, nothing. Did you ever live
Yeah.
like in a 1-bedroom apartment in a little cubby by yourself?
Well, yeah, you know this. Yeah, I've lived plenty of places by
I didn't
myself.
know that. Every time I knew you had roommates.
Oh, well, you were only I keep forgetting that you were only with the show for a short period of time in the early part. Yeah, but yeah, I had cool ass bachelor apartments.
So most of my life I grew up in a family and then had roommates, and there was only like a little narrow window in my 20s where I lived absolutely alone with no roommates. And I developed these weird habits that you can only develop when you're just sort of isolated on the island by yourself.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not that weird, except for, nudity is not an issue, and you can take a dump with the bathroom door open, just small little things like that
Yeah.
sort of
You
add
walk
up.
around naked
Yeah,
anytime you want.
exactly. You can fart whenever you want. No one's going to make
Yeah.
fun of you.
You can
But
eat in bed.
so I also developed these habits when I was living by myself that maybe you wouldn't think about. I basically had a cup, a plate, a bowl, a spoon, a fork, and I just used the same one constantly. Like it basically never went through the dishwasher, even came out the sink. I would just rinse it out, and next time I needed to use a bowl and a spoon, I would grab that one.
You're talking
I had
about me. That's my life now.
So I had a cup. I mean, I had many cups, but most of them just stayed in the cupboard. I had this one that I just used every day, and if I wanted to get another drink, I would dump it out, maybe run some water through it, and if I was going from milk to orange juice to unsweet tea to beer to a mixed drink, like a bourbon and Coke, that was the cup. It was like a king in his chalice. Like, this is my cup. This is from where I drink.
You mean something like this? The same cup I've been drinking out of for 2 years now?
Yeah.
And
It was
very
so
rarely
funny.
wash. I just refill it every morning.
because when I was working with you in Dallas for the last year there, I had an apartment by myself, and that's when I developed all these habits. And then when I moved to Oklahoma, it exploded because I was in it. I didn't even have friends there, so I did all kinds of weird stuff. And it's almost like the second my wife and kids left the house, the old instinct kicked in. It's like, this is cup.
That's your default mode. It's what
This
you're
is
most comfortable with.
This is the chalice from whence I drink. Like,
Yeah.
just immediately. And I feel like a freak because I've been such a normal, father and husband and, going to work and providing for the family and just being a normal human being. And boy, I really tripped out of the normal human being thing fast.
Do you know what I do not do? Because I've been living that life. I prefer that life. What I will find myself doing regularly is, and I'll add a little something to it. I am uncomfortable now when I sit down somewhere and eat dinner because I put food in the microwave and then just stand in the kitchen and eat it out of the bowl while I'm watching TV.
I love this
I don't sit down.
because there's these like behavioral surveys that they do between men and women. And
Yeah.
some of the more stark ones are like eating standing up, or like if you go to the gym, like the amount of people that enroll in the classes, like an aerobics or a spin class or whatever, is almost exclusively female. And then the people that are solo hacking it out on their own in the free weights are almost exclusively male. But this is another one where I've heard an evolutionary explanation for why men are more comfortable eating standing up, and women are more comfortable eating sitting down. And it's because me and you and, probably Lyle and maybe Eric or something, we'd go out on a hunting party. And when we finally get that pig, we've been tracking this thing for 16 hours. We're starving. We're going to kill it. We're going to eat something raw, like right there. Cause we got to pick this bastard up and carry it back to the tribe to feed our families.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And plus, the more you eat there, the less you got to carry. So you got the thing and, get rid of the bad parts, and you're going to get a couple of branches and wrap it around that and carry it back. And on the way back, you're just kind of eating off of this thing while you're carrying it back on the sticks. Yeah. And they did that perfect in Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. Remember at the beginning when they killed the tapir? It's like
that movie looked awful. Wasn't that the one that was no English being spoken? It was just
right, and I agree.
Jungle.
It looked awful, and then maybe because the bar was set so low when I saw it, I loved it.
Okay, well, that absolutely happens.
Yeah, and it feels like a City of God, where you're absolutely transported into another continent and another time in a completely different setting, and the fact that it's not in English is kind of more immersive.
Yeah.
And it almost becomes an advantage. Apocalypto. Wow, dude, name another ancient Mayan themed movie that you've seen.
Yeah, none.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it though. They might exist, but I haven't seen them.
Right. And in Hollywood, how much do we complain that they're just rehashing the same ideas over and over? And here's some unplowed ground finally.
Because they work. The ancient Mayan language film has not been proven to work.
Okay, so another weird thing
wait, can I just interrupt you for a second and tell you that I had the exact same experience where the bar was set so low that I found myself really enjoying it? You know what movie that was for me? Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yes.
The bar was
I expected to.
Yeah. I love that movie. And I thought I was going to hate it. And my son made me watch it. And I'm like, this movie is funny. So much so that I actually enjoyed the sequel as well, Hot Tub Time Machine 2. And I would absolutely, if there was a GoFundMe for a Hot Tub Time Machine 3, I would probably give them a few bucks. And on that note, you can contribute to the show because that's how we run, by just tipping the show a few bucks. All the links are right there at the bottom of the page. Sure would appreciate it. James, back to Apocalypto talk.
Well, that's sort of the scenario you're thinking of when guys are used to eating standing up. That's when you're the most hungry, and that's what you get used to. And not only are you satiated, you start to look forward to it, and then it starts to get built into your genes after about 200,000 years of this lifestyle. But the women are the ones that are at home gathering the berries, taking care of kids, maybe grabbing some, I don't know, firewood that's laying around or whatever. But when they finally get to eat, they get to eat, and not only they get to eat, but they're more likely to eat cooked food.
Yeah.
So that's also a female preference.
They're more fancy. They want to be served. They want the man to bring home, right? Isn't that what we're getting?
Well, I don't think they want to be served. The man's going to go throw that carcass at them and be like, "Cook this for us. woman, I'm hungry. And
You
so
wanna know
that,
something else I do? The difference between when I was married and how I live now? I take much better care of my clothes now because I hate doing laundry. So I will not when I was married, every time I wore something, I just throw it in the laundry bin, and in a couple of days, it was miraculously cleaned and ironed and hanging back up. And hey, there we go. I'm not going into some misogynistic line here, but I just happen to have been married to women who did laundry, and I don't do laundry, and they were kind enough to do my laundry. So now, like, after I wear something, I will take the time, and this, people think, oh, guys, they'll just throw their clothes on the floor. No, because guys don't want to do, when guys are solo and bacheloring, they don't want to do laundry. So they will take the shirt they just wore, they will smell under the armpits, maybe they'll spray a little Axe body spray on it, and then they'll hang it right back up because they don't want to have to iron that damn shirt another time. So
well,
yeah,
that's a bigger player in the winter more so than the summer. If I wear something in the summer for 4 hours, it's done.
well, yes, that's because of the climate. The climate here is terrible. Well, and the climate where you are is even worse because it's the climate here, except with 150% humidity.
Okay, so now there was one thing that I developed in the super solo bachelorhood lifestyle that still stuck with me, and even though um, I'm married with kids, I still did this before they left, and that's I eat most of my meals at home off the same cutting board. And so
Yeah,
when I was by myself and you're preparing food, you chop up the onions and you chop up the bell pepper and then you throw it in the skillet there. I call it the man pan, the cast iron skillet. And then you go get your chicken or your beef or whatever, and you chop that up, and boom, you have some fajitas. And when it comes out the pan, it just goes right back on the same cutting board.
yeah.
And then you roll it up with the tortilla and cheese and sour cream, and you just eat it over that cutting board.
Or the sink. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's
Well,
particularly sloppy, you'll move
I
it over
I
to
I
the sink.
developed, a love of eating off the cutting board because of a few features that, I think other people would be interested in if it wasn't such a weird thing to do just because it's not common. But you know how when you got your fork and your knife and you're cutting a steak and you're on a regular plate and it's
Yeah, I hate that noise.
doesn't happen on a cutting board. In
No,
fact, there's a nice kind of soft, accepting texture to it, to where
accepting.
it's I don't want to say it's satisfying,
Yeah.
but it's the opposite of grating. It's like, oh, okay, it's this. I know I'm cutting all the way through because I'm getting a little pushback from the board here,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make any noise. It almost feels like your knife's purring at you because you have a serrated edge. It's a it's kind of nice. You can stab your fork in it and it won't go creak, scrape, and you don't feel like it's a tension. It's accepting. And so if you stab something too hard, you don't have to worry about making a big noise. The whole thing's pleasant.
You
It-
might be describing this the phenomena you're experiencing as some form of regression, but I would argue that no, it's perfection. All of the things that you have to do to fit into what is the accepted or expected rules of being in a familiar experience are bullshit. The sitting down to dinner, it's just neat. That's a mechanism for conversation. And when you're alone, you don't need a mechanism for conversation. I stand over the sink, I eat out of the bowl, I cut the meat on the cutting board, as you said, and the dog will typically be laying at my feet. And every once in a while, I will throw something down at her. That's
all right, well,
life. That's
let me
bachelor.
modify that a little bit because there's definitely a place for a group of people sitting at a table and eating. It's only the man that gets to go out and eat standing up and eat while he's walking and eat while he's exerting himself and carrying an animal back.
Do we
It,
know this? Do we? I mean, do we know? Are we just assuming this?
we
I
don't
mean,
know
do
crap
bachelor?
about what happened before we were born. We could all be
No, no,
plugged
no.
into the
But what I mean,
matrix. But
do
yes,
bachelor women do the same thing? Do bachelor women make a meal and sit down at a table and eat it alone, or do they also?
they are more likely than their male counterparts. I have seen studies that reflect that. But
Okay.
remember, so there's the women that stay at home.
Yeah.
There's the kids, male and female, who
Right.
experience because they are served by the mom. The food is prepared by the mom and given to them in in a group setting. So they are most definitely at the table and sitting down. But don't forget anyone who's too old, and people did exist past age 30 back in the day. But if you're like Pug's age, you're not going to go on the next raiding party. The elderly population was also waiting for the strapping young hunting party to come back with some food. And so really everybody in the whole tribe, everybody in all societies did sit down and eat mass prepared meals for the most part. And by mass, I mean like more than one or two. And they ate in a sit down setting. It was only the hunting age able bodied males that were the ones that partook in the eating while standing up. So it is a more rare behavior, but it makes sense why you and me would be more likely to do it than my wife or maybe Emily over there in the chat.
All right. All right. Fascinating stuff. I hope this regression works out for you. I
recommend though. I recommend you do the cutting board. I got a round one that has a sort of a bevel on the outside and it's platter sized. And this is my plate. I eat more than half of my meals at home off of this thing. I think you will like it. It does a lot of cool things like when you put a sauce on it, it's not going to immediately just slosh all over the cutting board.
You got to wash down the cutting board, though. You got to just throw that in the sink and run hot water on it. And that's what I mean by washing it down.
Yeah, no, I run hot water on it, and I have one of those dish scrubbing brushes, and I scrub them. I never put it in the dishwasher. If there's something stuck to it, I will use soap, but for the most part, it's just water and a scrub.
All right. Hey, let's segue into some topics here really quick. These are the things that we like to do here on the Noon Show. We cover all the things that are trending, all the things that you're talking about, things that, should you be confronted somewhere out there in the wild and somebody say, hey, did you hear about? You can say, I sure did, because I was listening to High Noon with Pugs and James Parker. All right. So a couple stories of interest that are trending here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Cooper Rush is trending. Backup quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Why is Cooper Rush trending? Because it was just broken on local sports radio here in DFW. He might start on Sunday night versus the Vikings for the Cowboys. Dak is dealing with a right calf strain. And I believe the category for Dak at the moment is questionable. But here's my take on this. This is a red herring. This is Cooper Rush is not starting on a Sunday night football game in a year when the Dallas Cowboys look like they're really good. This is the moment that Dak lives for. Right calf sprain? They're going to shoot his calf up with whatever illicit chemicals they can put into his body, and Dak is going to go out there and throw for 500 yards. Watch. Dak is a big stage performer. There is no way in hell that Cooper Rush is going to start on Sunday night in front of a national TV audience on Halloween.
Pugs, you can't possibly know that.
Of course I do.
You have a good hunch, but your confidence needs to be dialed back from 100% to maybe 80%. Maybe he really did hurt his calf. I mean, he's not indestructible. We've seen him hurt his leg before.
Or his arm, his shoulder, he gets banged up. But look, a calf is not after being out all of last season and coming back and being honestly one of the 2 or 3 top choices right now in the early parts of the season for an NFL MVP. I mean, Dak Prescott is having a whale of a season. No way in hell he doesn't perform for the national audience on Halloween on Sunday Night Football. You heard it here first. It was tweeted out by our old station. It was tweeted out. It was tweeted out by our old station. It got picked up nationally, and it started trending almost immediately. And this is just a bullshit tweet that was intended to trend nationally so that people would talk about it. There is no chance in hell, I'm telling you right now, that Cooper Rush is going to start on Sunday night on Halloween, which is traditionally one of the most watched Sunday night games, because everybody's sitting around in front of their TV answering the door. It's a game when dad's got to be at the door. So dad's got the TV on, he's watching the game. Trust me, Halloween games are always highly rated, one of the biggest games of the year. No chance in hell MVP candidate Dak Prescott is going to sit this one out. He'll be out there. All right. Also trending of local interest. Tits. Tits is trending. Do you know why tits is trending?
I'm not allowed to comment on this, I don't think.
Nah, well, it's T.I.T.S. That's why tits is trending. It's not tits. Tits is trending because Elon Musk is saying, Elon Musk just moved his operations to Texas, right?
Same here. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, same here. So did I. Yeah, I was ahead of the curve. I moved
We're
my
copying you. Me and Elon Musk are copying
Yes,
you.
absolutely. Well, Elon obviously saw the raging success that I've been having here with these shows and thought, wow, that seems like fertile ground for my genius. Tits is trending because Elon Musk has said, he tweeted out that he is thinking of starting a new university in Texas, a new university. And the university's name is going to be the Texas Institute of Technology and Sciences.
I love it.
Tits.
God, this is so great.
That
This is exactly what I would do.
Yeah, and I was reading some of the comments and people were like, "Oh, that's what we need, another bullshit university."
Yeah, we
Dude,
do. Yeah, we
how
do. We
how
do
do
need another
you
BS.
think some of the legacy universities in this nation were started? Because a rich guy said, "I want to fund a university," and now this doesn't
And we're
mean
all better for it, you idiots.
this isn't going to be one of these online stupid things. Elon Musk is going to probably build one of the preeminent tech schools in the country. You've got MIT. You've got what's the one in California? There's a big one in California. In Illinois, just adjacent to the University of Chicago campus, you have the IIT, the Illinois Institute of Technology, which is a big tech school. I mean, tech schools, this is the tech guy. I could totally see. He's the wealthiest man in the world right now.
No one's criticizing this, are they? No one's upset that a
Yeah.
guy from South Africa has come over here, send some dudes to space, and is now going to spend billions on higher education. No one's upset about that, really, are they?
He's going to buy up a bunch of land.
Well, good. We got plenty of land in Texas.
We do. And he's going to create a kick-ass college and and you know what? In 50 years, it's going to be Vanderbilt. How do you think Vanderbilt got started? How do you think Penn got started? William Penn. I mean, these are all people who the Ivy League schools, they were all started by rich billionaires of the age who said, I want to start. How do you think Notre Dame got started? A bunch of Catholic priests went and got a whole bunch of millionaires to fund a college, a seminary for students, and it became Notre Dame University. This is how universities get started.
Really, I'm skeptical. Is anyone really complaining about this?
Yeah, the threat. Well, look, Elon Musk, he's a polarizing figure, so everybody has a problem with it. Rice University, Frank Smith points out, rich guy.
Yeah, it was funded by a bag of rice.
Yeah. Rick Bradley says, I quit watching NFL years ago.
I'm sure you did.
I remember a bunch of people did, and yet the NFL has the highest ratings in their history this year. So I always think that's funny because there was this big wave of people that said they were never going to watch football again, and that wasn't true.
For me, my principles are also heavily tied to how well the Cowboys are doing on whether or not my NFL boycott's going to stand. Yeah,
I understand that. I totally get that.
I'm boycotting. They're 2-6.
Here was the problem with that. When a bunch of old guys, 50 plus, decided that they were no longer going to watch college football, the metric that they failed to include in their thinking was that the NFL births new fans every year. My 12-year-old son is an NFL fanatic. 2 years ago, when everybody was jumping off the NFL, he didn't give a shit about the NFL because he was 9. But every year that league gets new fans, and with streaming options and with the ways to here's the thing that always bothered me about it. When certain people in this country decided that they were going to mass boycott the NFL, they always pointed to the television ratings going down as if that was some indication that their movement had taken legs. Fact of the matter is that television ratings for football have been dropping for a decade, but the streaming ratings for NFL are huge. Television ratings are irrelevant in the mass capture of audience these days. There was no streaming 20 years ago. So the reason that the TV ratings have dropped off is because people are watching NFL online. They're watching NFL through subscriptions. They're watching NFL on, Amazon Prime has NFL. So yes, the TV ratings have certainly gone down, but that's because TV now has competition from other sources to ingest NFL football. But I'm not going to stop watching NFL football. I don't care. I don't care if the best quarterback in the league turns out to be a Hitler fanatic. I like watching football. I like NFL football. It's fun.
Okay.
I like college better, though. That's a fact.
Would you send your kid to TITS?
Tits? If Elon Musk, yeah, because
Right?
look, Elon Musk might be a weirdo and a polarizing figure, but if my
Definitely.
kid wants to get into tech, yeah, I would like him to go to the guy that has certainly proven himself to be at the forefront of tech innovation over the last 20 years. Elon Musk ain't no fool when it comes to that stuff. He's going to put together a real college.
Oh, you went a little deeper than I would be happy for my kid to go there just so I could wear the T-shirts all over the place. You're like, what? My kid goes there. What am I not supposed to wear? I'm not allowed to wear the shirt of my kid's college. Come on, man.
Well, what are you going to do? Texas Institute of Technology and Sciences. It's just goofy. It's just goofy enough to believe that that's what Elon Musk wants to do.
There's no way he's naming it that, but
What are they going to
I hope
be?
that's real.
What are they? The tits? What is their mascot?
It could be the Texas Institute of Science and Technology. Okay, it doesn't have to be TIDS.
Right,
That's
but the
too perfect,
abbreviation is
man.
fun. Could
And
they
look,
be? Could they tie in with the Longhorns and the Texas cattle thing and be the udders? The tits
what?
udders.
Oh
The
my
tits
god!
udders.
Oh, you mean for their mascot? Yeah,
Yeah.
they could be like the dairy cows or something. That'd be great. Or they could be the Anna Nicole Smiths or something like that.
The fighting implants.
Oh man, that is
Here
their football team's
they
probably
come
gonna
out onto the
suck.
field, the fighting implants of Texas Institute of Technology and Science.
Yeah, but you got to face it.
Lordy.
Face it. Their football team's gonna suck.
Well, for the first 10 years, probably. But then who knows?
But
No,
they'll join the SEC and start recruiting hard. And
you're right. You're right. Tech schools don't have good football teams. You're right.
not for real tech schools.
I don't even think MIT has a sports team, do they? Does MIT have a? I don't know. Although, the University of Chicago, which is considered not a tech school, but it's considered one of the great academic schools in America, the Manhattan Project, I mean, all kinds of shit went down there. The University of Chicago dominated college football back in the day. Amos Alonzo Stagg, who is considered one of the greatest coaches in history, was the coach of the University of Chicago Maroons. They've got a bunch of Heisman winners from back in the 20s and stuff like that. So, you never know. Maybe smart kids can play. I don't know. Although maybe they weren't smart back then. I don't think the rules of today applied to 1905. You know what I mean?
No, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Little different. They didn't even have cars.
So those are the local interests that are trending. Once again, let me reiterate. Cooper Rush is trending. He is not going to start on Sunday night. Dak will
You can't
not.
know that. You just don't think he's going to
I
start.
don't think he's going to
I'll
start.
remember this.
And Elon Musk is starting Tits University, or wants to start Tits University here in the great state of Texas.
All right, Pugs, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I got to leave at 1, and I want to hear this Indiana Jones explanation.
Oh, well, I don't really have an explanation, but you were telling me about it. So hit me with it. What was your question? You had a question this morning.
In movies, like when someone has a nightmare and they just bolt upright in the middle of the night and they're all like out of breath and stuff. Well, that happened to me last night, and it was bothering me because why the hell is Indiana Jones carrying around a whip? Why is he so good with the freaking whip? He's an archaeology professor. He's an academic. He's a nerd. Whip? Like, who even uses a whip? Where did the whip come from? Is he like a lion tamer, or is he like a backup, like a understudy for Siegfried and Roy? Maybe he was a ranchero across the Brazilian cowboy plains or something. I don't know what the answer is, but there's not a whole lot of people in society who are just naturally inclined to develop skills with a whip. So I found that really weird. And then also, even if you do have these bullwhipping skills, is that really going to be your weapon of choice when you're going to chase down the thuggies or get the Temple of Doom or whatever, the Ark of the Covenant or whatever? You're going up against Nazis. You're going to bring your whip. So Pugs was saying he actually has an explanation for it. He's like, well, clearly you didn't see the Chronicles of Young Indiana or whatever it was.
Let me just point out to you that your outrage is anchored in ignorance. There is no reason for you to be this upset because you truly do not know the origin story of Indiana Jones.
I don't.
Young Indiana Jones, the Chronicles of Young Indiana Jones, which was a show in the early 90s. I mean, you probably weren't watching it, but because Indiana Jones was an 80s phenomena, that was my wheelhouse as a little kid. I watched all the Indiana Jones stuff. I love the Indiana Jones stuff. And what was your question? I think you said to me, why does he have a whip? What is he, a lion tamer or something? Well, in fact, he was. In fact,
Really?
he was. Yes. Young Indiana Jones was the son of, I believe I want to say, Howard Jones, not to be confused with the 80s pop singer. Maybe it was Harry Jones. I don't know. But his father, he's a second generation world renowned archaeologist, Indiana Jones is. His father was very big in that world. Indiana Jones was raised all over the world. He was raised in Africa. He was raised in Asia. His father was traveling the globe with people like Sir Edmund Hillary and, these kinds of people. Indiana Jones, he tamed lions as a boy in Africa. He worked with all the animals. And then when he went off to college to become an archaeologist himself, he ended up joining the French Foreign Legion as a teenager and becoming a war hero. And then when he went back to resume his studies, young Indiana Jones actually became an international super spy. Not sure for who, but
What? See, this is way too much.
What do you mean it's way too much? He's a fictional character, dude. What do you mean it's way too much? You asked a question not knowing his origin story, and here I am explaining to you the origin story of young Indiana Jones, and you're calling bullshit. Your problem, sir, is with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, not me.
No. My problem is with that TV series, because that does not sound like it would rest within the canon of what Steven Spielberg and George Lucas had in mind when they put together Indiana Jones. Did they sign off on this? Did they write this? Was this their origin story? Or did someone else after the fact go ham-fisted, get a handful of 20-something writers on the Jeep, and they just backstoried him?
No. This show was a Lucas Spielberg television production. This was their baby, and this was in the midst of the Indiana Jones phenomenon when it was still a relevant franchise. They were cranking out movies. Okay, so basically the story, here's how it played out. There were multiple people who played different incarnations of Indiana Jones. Like each episode, as I recall, opened up with like old Indiana Jones, like older than Harrison Ford, like modern day 1992 70-year-old Indiana Jones.
Cool. Okay.
And it was always him telling a story. Like people would ask him, well, tell me about the time, and then it would the flashback thing, and then it would flash back to like the 1930s or the 1920s when young Indy was a boy, and then it was portrayed by the person who played young Indiana Jones in 1991 or something actually went on to be an actor. I can't remember his name, but at any rate, is Sean Patrick Flannery a name? Why does that name pop into my head? Powder? Maybe it was the dude who went on to play Powder. Remember the movie Powder about the molesting albino? Or maybe the molesting part came after the movie was released when we found out that the real Powder was a molester. I don't know.
Yikes.
But I believe it was somebody like that.
I remember the principal from Ferris Bueller was a molester.
Yeah, that guy. Boy, we can go. You know what? That's a Pillow Talk segment. Hollywood molesters, where we actually
Mark it down. We'll do it tonight or Monday.
Hold on.
Sunday.
Yeah, Hollywood molesters. All right, that's on deck for a Pillow Talk segment. Featuring that dude, the dude from Ferris Bueller. As a matter of fact, we may even call the segment the dude from Ferris Bueller Hollywood molest. There's a lot
the
of
Mr. Rooney segment.
There's a lot of them too.
This segment's dedicated to Mr. Rooney.
So that's how the show played out. There were multiple incarnations of Indiana Jones depicted. There was old and there was young. And then even a couple of episodes, Harrison Ford appeared. Harrison Ford doing TV in the early 90s, throwing a bone to his buddies George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, saying, yeah, I'll do a walk-on. I'll play the modern or the known incarnation of Indiana Jones. But the series was good, man. I loved that series. And I was like in my early 20s, and I still thought it was good. So to answer your question, yes, Indiana Jones, like you described him as an egghead Professor Pussy, and that was your problem, that how could he be so tough in taking on Nazis? That was my Brad Pitt Nazis from Inglourious Bastards. But the fact of the matter is his origin story bolstered all of that. His origin story was that, yeah, he's been training as like a super fighter. As
his origin story is ludicrous. Like if Superman did all that in the comics, you'd be like, that's a little far-fetched.
He was an adventurer of the highest order. How dare you, sir?
All right. Hey, and then I have another thing I want to run by you. Are you familiar with the rich man, poor man list?
Well, I am familiar with the Rich Man Poor Man miniseries, which is awesome, but
Oh,
no, what is
no.
the Rich Man?
Okay, so this was something that Adam Carolla started doing back when he was on Loveline, and then it sort of did like a viral run
Okay. Can I just
years
time out
ago.
here for a second? You sort of rolled your eyes when I said the miniseries. You do realize that Adam Carolla creating this list would have been an homage to the miniseries. He didn't just create the words rich man, poor man and put them together in that way. It was based on the miniseries that he is of the age where he probably watched. So
Okay,
Rich Man, Poor Man was a very Nick Nolte. It was a
I've never
very
heard of this.
what look it up. Seriously. That's your
Was I
assignment.
one when it came out? Because I don't know any
Yes. No, dude,
miniseries.
before you were born. This is like a 1973, 1944 TV miniseries that became a massive hit and ushered in the idea that miniseries could be successful.
See,
Well,
miniseries are necessarily cultural holes because they didn't get rerun a lot, and you don't go back and watch them. It was a one-time thing. But anyway, look, so this list it's amazing if you take the richest guys in society, like the Richie Riches, the Monopoly man with the monocle and the top hat,
yeah.
and the poorest, the bums, the Joe Dirts and trailer trash and on down. The overlap that these two lifestyles have is pretty fascinating. And some of these are going to be vague suggestions, but they still fit and they don't apply to you and me for the most part. Right. So the things that really rich guys and really poor guys have in common, like an example, they're more likely to live in a hotel,
Rich guys.
and poor guys. These are the things that very rich people and very poor people have in common.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because poor guys live in flop hotels and
Mhm.
rich guys live at the Waldorf.
There
Yeah,
you go.
absolutely.
They're
I would
more
own a
likely
hotel,
when
by the way. That's my
they're more
dream.
likely when their children to have absentee parents. Their
Okay.
parents are often out of the house for long stretches of the time.
One guy is out cutting business deals, a multi-million-dollar global conglomerate that he represents, and the other guy is doing crack.
He's on a little bit of a bender.
Mhm.
Both have a tendency to have substance abuse issues in the family.
Cocaine and
Yeah.
crack.
Yeah, well, not that people like me and you don't, but they're more likely to happen in the super rich and the super poor families than they are to happen in families like me and the people that are watching right now, right?
Uh-huh.
They're more likely to have family
Bye, Emily.
secrets.
Love you. Emily's leaving.
Bye,
Bye,
Emily.
Emily. She's
Yeah, I'm
got
about to have to go too, baby. Good luck on your doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
Turn your head and cough. It's more likely this is a good one. They're more likely that their only job is playing a guitar in front of people. There's not a whole lot of people in the middle. Me and you, our only job is probably not playing guitar. But if that's your only job, you're either really rich or really poor.
Yes. Well,
Right?
couldn't that also be said for people whose only job is speaking into a microphone? Because
Yes.
in this day and age, if you're in radio speaking into a microphone, you're probably syndicated to 300 markets, or you're podcasting from your guest house. That's
Right.
that's the same thing. Yeah.
A rich man and
By the
poor
way,
man.
you can help out by donating to the show. This show operates on tips and your generosity. We do not have advertisers. This is all about you. This is the people funding this show. You can use any of the links down there. And also, if you can't do that, don't forget, just share the show.
We've got children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. A rich man and a really rich man and a really poor man are also less likely to drive themselves to work.
Okay. I like it.
One has a chauffeur, the other one rides the bus or carpools
Sure.
or whatever. Both of them are probably pretty well known by the local law enforcement community.
One has someone who donates to the policeman's ball, as they say, and the other one who's constantly being watched. Yeah.
Rich man and poor man are both more likely to have family members who are in and out of prison again.
Yeah, very true. These are great. So these are common unifiers between, we have a large income disparity in this country. And these are the things that I love it. These are the things that link both together. Continue, James. I am fascinated by this.
I know. I love this. This is an Adam Carolla invention, but it blew up on Reddit and people keep adding to it. And so now the list has gotten monstrous.
Okay.
Both the rich man and poor man are more likely to really be into racing of some sort. Horse racing, car racing, dog racing.
Powerboat racing for the rich guys.
But when you go to the racetrack, if you go to the fairgrounds here in New Orleans, up in the upper decks on the club level, totally rich blue blood people. Down in the bottom,
like Amel.
Yeah.
who own stakes in the horses and also have a permanent suite where they can
Right, and they have, like,
entertain guests.
waiters with gloves on, but you go downstairs where the slot machines are in the back and, you can still smoke in public, and that is the poorest
Do you
of the
Can
poor.
I stop you for a second here? I am not when I used to go to racetracks, I when I was little, my grandpa used to take me to racetracks, and we would hang out with, my grandpa's working class degenerate friends, right?
Mhm.
And it was a real earthy kind of experience. Then when I was here in Dallas, I started going to racetracks, at Lone Star, and this is where I was introduced to the other side of the racetrack,
Right,
and the
yeah.
person that introduced me
Wow.
to the other side was Emil's dad. Now, Emil's not here. Emil's dad sadly passed away a few years ago, but Emil's dad was awesome, man. We would go to Lone Star and we'd go up into the fancy suites, and Big Johnny would be sitting there holding court in like a big leather chair with all of his Goomba buddies, shall we say? And they had waitresses. That was like the most I'm like, this is the kind of racing I could get into.
He's
If
like, "Let me
this
tell you about the time I took the boys to Cuba."
Yeah. Oh, man, Emil's dad was a wonderful man. All right, go ahead, continue.
Alright, they're very likely to have a feud with a neighbor, some sort of
Very well.
issue with
Yes, yes. The construction they've been doing in the co-op is going on now 18 months. My lord, yes. Or, I hate that political sign in your yard. Yeah, it's that kind of thing, right? It's
"Stop looking at my window, keep your hands off my dog."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, my daughter's only 12 years old. I see you peeping. Yeah.
The father is more likely to have multiple children from multiple mothers.
Yeah.
So whether that's Cletus in the trailer park or Donald Trump,
Yeah,
very true.
absolutely.
Yeah. Incest.
No. Well, okay.
Rich man and poor man, aren't they more likely to have some sort of issues with, crossing bloodstreams in the ways that are not biologically preferred?
All right. I don't really cotton to that one, but okay, continue
Well,
on.
I mean, think about it. Think about the Habsburgs and then
Rather
think
not.
about the trailer park, right?
Oh, okay. But European royalty, European blue bloods, is, that's a slim part of the rich guy pie. I don't know about that.
I'm not saying it's the majority of them. I'm just saying they're more likely than the people in the middle of society, the poor
Okay.
and the rich, to participate in that very disgusting act.
Okay.
Hunting, especially with dogs.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. All right. So I can see that, but I think that when you are imagining the poor guy, your foundation, where you grew up, that you're thinking of poor guys in rural America, right? That go hunting. See, I'm thinking of poor guys who live on the south side of Chicago. They don't go hunting. That's not a hunting thing. But continue.
Yeah, and it's really hard to pigeonhole poor people because that is a big strata of society that
Yeah.
is far different, but more so than even the middle class people who live out in rural areas. The really rich people and the really poor people are probably more likely to hunt, especially with dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
Rich man and poor man, they're more likely to be carrying around a buttload of shopping bags at any given time.
Wait. Why would a rich man be carrying around buttloads of shopping bags? I don't think a rich man carries anything.
No, but like the rich man's wife just went on a shopping spree and she hit every shop in Snyder Plaza and she has a
Oh, I
bag
see
from
what you're
every.
saying. Okay.
Yeah, and then
I got you.
obviously the poor guy's probably carrying home his groceries or that's all his belongings and he's begging.
Sure.
They both have a tendency, the rich man and poor man, to eat animals not usually seen as food.
Poor people eat rats, rich people eat iguana hearts. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah,
Something like
cat,
that?
yeah, foie gras or something.
Endangered species brain.
Caviar.
Yeah, okay.
That's not normal.
Alright.
Snails.
Yep.
Rich man and poor man are also less likely than the middle of society to. They're more likely to not carry a wallet.
Yeah, I don't carry a wallet. Does anybody carry a wallet anymore? I don't carry a
Oh,
wallet.
I definitely do.
You do. See,
Yeah.
I have a phone and I have, a driver's license and I have my card that I need when I'm out in the world. That's it. So I don't really have a wallet, but
Yeah. Well, I do. It doesn't do much, but I still do.
Except cause like poor lines in your jeans. You can't wear skinny jeans like I do with
I wasn't going to be
wallets.
attractive anyway. No one cares. Finally, rich man and poor man are more likely to own really old guns.
Okay.
Guns are one thing, but really old guns. Rich man, poor man.
Okay, yeah, classic legacy guns for rich guys, and then guns that barely work because they were, they found them in a stream that was used in a murder, and they're just going to use it now for.
My grandpa won this in a poker game in Bullard in 1928.
Oh, it's one of the. No, don't you think the poor family would have sold that by then if it was a 1928 gun? If there was like a legacy to the gun, I would think. See, when I think poor guy with bad guns, it's just like guns they found that were ditched.
They found,
like gangbangers. They're always finding guns.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Before you leave, let me give you a little something to take into the.
Can I do one more?
Oh yeah, I thought you said finally. Okay,
I did, but I lied. Rich man and poor man. They're more likely to sleep with someone who is a maid.
Who's a maid?
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily their maid, but a maid.
That's a good one. Yeah, very true, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So maybe we can add to that list or throw this out to the commenters on a future show or whatever. But I just want to introduce you to the rich man, poor man list because you'll find yourself thinking about this when you're driving down the road. You'll see something, you're like, that's a rich man, poor man. And then you'll forget it and you'll hate yourself. But yeah.
I'll give that some thought and I will compile my own list. However, before we lose you for the day, please let me give you this little piece of information. Rich Man, Poor Man is a 1976 American television miniseries based on the 1969 novel of the same name by Irwin Shaw. It aired on ABC in 1 or 2 hour episodes, mostly on Monday nights over a 7-week period. It was produced by Universal Television and was the second time programming of this nature had been attempted. The first TV miniseries, QB7, had aired also on ABC in 1974. But this was the first hit. Rich Man,
the
Poor
old QB7, huh?
Yeah, nobody ever heard of that. But Rich Man, Poor Man became a huge hit. In 1974, these projects proved to be a critical rating success and were the forerunner for similar projects based on literary works such as Roots, Shogun. Okay, some of these I don't understand.
North and South.
North and South Winds of War. It spawned sequels, Rich Man, Poor Man Book 2. Now here's the cast. You got so the rich man was Rudy Jordache, and that was played by Peter Strauss, who went on to be a pretty famous actor. The poor man was Tom Jordache, played by Nick Nolte. The cast also included Ed Asner, Susan Blakely, Robert Reed, Mr. Brady was in it. Yeah, Post Brady Bunch Works. Bill Bixby, the Hulk, for you and me. Let's see, Talia Shire.
No, I thought Lou Ferrigno was the Hulk.
Lou Ferrigno was the Hulk, but Bill Bixby played Banner, Dr. Banner. And then when he turned into the Hulk, it became, Linda Day George, Van Johnson, and a lot of Dick Butkus as Al Fanducci. Dick Butkus dipping his toe in the acting world. Anyway, no, it was a very big miniseries. And for kids of my age, especially raised by a single mom, she was watching this and I was playing with trucks on the floor, not even knowing it at the time, but it was sinking in. I was watching Rich Man, Poor Man. As a matter of fact, there's a great movie called Beautiful Girls. Have you ever seen the film Beautiful Girls?
No.
Oh, it's such a good movie. Timothy Hutton, Michael Rappaport. Who's the girl? Who's Kill Bill? Who's the girl? Kill Bill.
Thurman?
Uma Thurman is like the beautiful girl that's at the center of all this. And Natalie Portman, who plays Teddy, a 13-year-old who's obsessed with and flirting with a much older Timothy Hutton in the movie. Very good. Dude, if you've never seen Beautiful Girls, it's a fantastic movie. Anyway, at one point, Matt Dillon, Timothy Hutton, and Michael Rappaport get into a deep conversation at a bar about Rich Man, Poor Man. So about who was actually the good guy and who was the bad guy. Fun movie. I know you got to go, but there you go. Now you know that Rich Man, Poor Man was one of the foundational miniseries in television entertainment history.
I feel bad because I didn't get to find out what happened to Fetty Wap.
Oh, Fetty, I'll give you right now. Fetty Wap is trending today because he is playing. There's some big concert series going on at Citi Field in New York this week, and last night during I believe it was some sort of sound check or something, the FBI and DEA swarmed Citi Field and arrested Fetty Wap on big drug conspiracy charges. Apparently, he's being accused of trafficking in heroin, cocaine, and pills. So Fetty Wap, he's trending because he's relevant again, because he's going to jail.
That's street cred.
That's all you got. Yeah, that is street cred.
Get a good lawyer. Good luck, Fetty.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, James. We appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to do the rest of the show by myself, which is always fun. There he goes, James Parker in New Orleans. That's all he gets. All right. Let me see here. Let's pick this up from here. We'll just run through quickly some of the things that are trending that I have to talk about here. Without someone to interact with, we may go a little bit short. I mentioned that it's National Cat Day. Oh, happy birthday. Now, I mentioned it is the 50th birthday, which I don't know, 50. I think she might be lying about her age by a year or two at this point. Happy birthday to the person who I consider to be, a lot of you will go, it's Molly Ringwald. No. The person who I consider to be the quintessential Gen X actress. Of course, I'm talking about Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder is trending today. People are wishing her, Winona, a happy 50th birthday. Winona Ryder, that's an interesting story there. First of all, you know why her name is Ryder? Because her real last name is Horowitz. She was born Winona Horowitz. Her first name is Winona because she was born in Winona, Minnesota. And her parents were like hippies and, they were living on a commune up there back when she was born 50 years ago. And so she was, she got her first name Winona from the town Winona, Minnesota, where she was born. But then when she became an actress, she didn't want to have the Horowitz name. I don't know why. I guess I'm too ethnic. I guess having an ethnic name of that caliber is fine if you're the producer or the studio head. But if you want people to come see your movies in Nebraska, maybe you don't want Horowitz. I don't know if that was the thinking. But she changed her name to Ryder because of the movie Easy Rider. And she said if she had been a boy, her name would have been Cool Papa Ryder. How cool is that name? Of course, after a legendary baseball player, Cool Papa Bell. I think if she had a boy, I don't know if she had any kids, but that would have been a cool name because it was supposed to be her name when they thought she might be a boy. So she was going to be Cool Papa Ryder, and instead she was named Winona Ryder. She was supposed to be Cool Papa Horowitz. Yeah, which still would have worked when she changed her name to be an actress to Ryder. Cool Papa Ryder even works better than Cool Papa Horowitz. But Winona Ryder, happy 50th birthday. And I do maintain that she is the quintessential Gen X actress. She was a massive star for 5 or 6 years. I mean, whether it was Heathers, which was, I would assume, her breakthrough. The spelling is different. Don't get bent up on the spelling of Winona. I believe the spelling is different. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Ryder is definitely spelled differently. She uses Ryder with a Y, but it was influenced by the film Easy Rider. That's why she chose it. She Heathers, she broke through in, and then she just had a whole oh my God, she was in Great Balls of Fire. That was good. The Jerry Lee Lewis story. She played Myra, who was the young cousin that Jerry Lee Lewis married. She was like 15, and Jerry Lee Lewis was like, a pervert. And then of course Edward Scissorhands took her over the top. She was that's where she met Johnny Depp. They had a relationship with Johnny Depp. She was the hottest A-list young actress in the world round about 1992, 1993, and then nothing. Then she just completely, I think she went a little bit wacky. Hey, I got a great story. Stephen Jenkins told me this story. Stephen Jenkins from the band I don't know what band what band was Stephen Jenkins in? If you would step out on that ledge, my friend, a doot 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 doot. You know that guy? Semi-chump kind of life. Stephen Jenkins told me a story about going out on a date with Winona Ryder, and she worked his junk under the table with her foot. They're out to dinner. How about that? Yeah, they were out to dinner sitting at a table, and Winona Ryder took off her shoe and she started working his junk right there. Third eye blind. Thank you, Jameson. A doot 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 doot. Winona. So at the very least, she sounds like a fun date. And then she got in trouble like a year or so after that. She was apparently she stole something from a store. Do you remember that? Remember when Winona Ryder stole something from a store? I don't know. And her career went absolutely nowhere. And she was doing absolutely nothing until a couple of years ago when she reemerged as the mom on Stranger Things. So here's hoping that she gets her shit together. Here's hoping that Winona Ryder comes back because I love her as an actress. The thing about Winona Ryder as an actress, she does not have to say a word of dialogue, and she can convey, Pugs, now he's getting all artsy fartsy. And yes, when I watch movies, I actually pay attention to the acting chops. I like it. I like to watch the different methods that these actors use in building their characters and all of that. So, whatever. But Winona Ryder, if you just turn the sound down and just watch her performances, everything that she is going through, she conveys with her eyes. Her eyes are like always moving, and her eyes are so expressive. It's hypnotic. So happy birthday to you, Winona Ryder, one of my all-time favorites. Okay, this is a fun story. The Cleveland Guardians are trending today. The Cleveland Guardians. Now, you may know, Pugs, who are the Cleveland Guardians? Well, they are the questionably current, certainly hope to be future name of the team formerly known as the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland Indians baseball team has changed their name because of pressure, because of, the Indian thing. Don't really have a take on that. Sorry, people, but I don't really care. Truthfully, I think Guardian sounds like a much cooler name anyway. What do Guardians have to do with the Indian? Well, what do Indians have to do with Cleveland is what I would say. I don't know that, when we think of the city of Cleveland, we think of teepees and wigwams. So stop it. And quite frankly, the Guardians have everything to do with the city of Cleveland, because the city of Cleveland, its nickname is the Guardian City, for one, and one of their most famous landmarks in Cleveland is the Guardian Bridge, which is this bridge that the Ohio River? I don't know. It's a lake city, so there's a whole bunch of rivers all over the place. But one of the main bridges that leads you into the city of Cleveland is called the Guardian Bridge. And outside the Guardian Bridge, they have these massive statues that have been erected of these two figures. I don't know if they're like Teutonic Knights or whatever they are. Maybe I can't really think of what they look like at the moment, but they're called the Guardians, the Cleveland Guardians. So shut up. There were no Indians in Cleveland, at least not in the last 200, 300 years. But there certainly are Guardians. But here's the problem now. The Cleveland Guardians, after doing this big name change, after announcing it a few months ago, after saying that this is how we're moving forward, they changed the office stationery. I'm certain of it. They introduced what the new uniforms are going to look like, which are, very similar to the old uniforms, just with a Guardian instead of an Indian. But here's the problem. Nobody in the Cleveland Indians organization, nobody in the Cleveland baseball organization bothered to check if the name Cleveland Guardians was available. And it wasn't. It's not. There is apparently, we'll get into the story here. There is a roller derby team in the city of Cleveland who, once again, because Guardians is kind of what the city is nicknamed, and it's, the bridge and all that stuff. So a roller derby franchise popped up about 20 years ago, and they decided to name themselves the Cleveland Guardians because it made a whole lot of sense for the city of Cleveland. But nobody in the Major League Baseball office, nobody in the franchise office, nobody bothered to look and see if it was all right. So now the Cleveland Guardians name change is being challenged by a roller derby team who is claiming not even squatters' rights. They're claiming producers' rights. They operate under the name Cleveland Guardians. In July, the Cleveland Indians announced that the franchise would be called the Cleveland Guardians following the conclusion of the 2021 MLB season. On Wednesday, a Cleveland-based roller derby team, also named the Cleveland Guardians, sued the Major League Baseball franchise in federal court in an effort to block their use of their name. Major League Baseball would never let someone name their lacrosse team the Chicago Cubs if the team was in Chicago, or their soccer team the New York Yankees if that team was in New York, nor should they, Hunton Andrew Kurth, lead attorney, said in a statement on behalf of the plaintiff. The same laws that protect Major League Baseball from the brand confusion that would occur in those examples also operate in reverse to prevent what the Indians are trying to do here. By taking the name Cleveland Guardians overnight, the Indians knowingly and willfully eviscerated the rights of the original owner of that name, the real Cleveland Guardians. What are they going to be now? The Cleveland Drew Carey's? What else? Cleveland Rock and Rollers? That's stupid, right? That's not good. Cleveland. What are the other Cleveland? Cleveland Cavaliers. Why does the team name have to have anything to do with the city itself? That seems like something that has never been done before. There are no Bears in Chicago. That's not a thing. Although, to be honest, Chicago Bears were named the Chicago Bears because they were named to correspond with the Chicago Cubs who existed. And the Bears, the football was supposed to be bigger and badder than baseball players. So that's why the Chicago Bears are named that. Not because that there are bears roaming around downtown Chicago. That's not a thing. The Boston Red Sox, what does wearing red stockings have to do? So you see, they could really have gone with anything. Instead, they went with a name that was already chosen. According to the lawsuit, the Indians knew that the Guardians roller derby team already had existed under the same name for months before they announced their name change. The lawsuit also alleges that the Cleveland Indians lawyers made secret trademark filings on the small island of small island in an effort to hide its intent to take the Guardians' name, and then reached out to tell the roller derby team its plans. As a nonprofit organization that loves sports in the city of Cleveland, we are saddened that the Indians have forced us into having to protect the name we have used here for years, Cleveland Guardians roller derby owner Gary Sweat added. We know we are in the right. However, and just like our athletes do on the track, we will put everything into this effort at the courthouse. All right, so here's what's going to happen. This is not really about forcing the Cleveland baseball franchise to change their name from their chosen name of the Cleveland Guardians. This is about how much money are the Cleveland baseball franchise willing to pay Gary Sweat, owner of the Cleveland Guardians. This is going to be a payday for him. The Cleveland Guardians will change their name like that. It would be so much easier for them. Nobody cares about roller derby. They can become the Cleveland whatevers. It doesn't matter. But the Cleveland Indians, operating on a much larger stage in the Major League Baseball world, there'd be a little bit more difficulty with them all of a sudden, months after announcing the name change, to switch gears. They've already sold jerseys. There's already Cleveland Guardian jerseys that you can get in Cleveland. I don't know if you can buy them nationwide. Probably the internet works that way. But this is all about the dude who runs the roller derby team going, oh shit, I might be able to get a couple of $1 million out of this. And yeah, I'm talking about a couple of $1 million because we're talking about Major League Baseball, a league that pays a backup utility infielder $3 million a year. So yes, this will be the trouble of them having to Cleveland baseball having to reverse course at this point is going to be just too incredibly daunting. So they're just going to write a check to this guy, expect this deal to go away fairly quickly. So that's why Cleveland Guardians is trending today. Let's see, what else do we have? We talked about Fetty Wap. We talked about here. Let me see where we are. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, look, folks, there's a lot of stuff trending today. A lot of it is political, which I have no interest in getting into. A lot of it is oh my God, there are multiple K-pop trends just clogging up the works. You've got you got someone named Joon, Joon, who people are going crazy for, Joon Kim or something like that. He's in one of these K-pop bands. And then there's like another K-pop band called the Stray Kids who are trending with multiple topics. So we just avoid all of that. I'm not really interested. Okay, let's see what else do we have. Bum, bum, bum. All right, here's a good one. I teased this. So a supermodel and her boyfriend have broken up, and they have broken up because apparently the boyfriend got into a fist fight with the supermodel's mom. Now, I didn't say who it was because, quite frankly, I don't know who these people are. I'm a 50-something-year-old man. This is not my wheelhouse. However, it's trending #1 on multiple platforms. So that's what we do here. We talk about what people are talking about. Who the hell is Gigi Hadid? That's my question. Gigi Hadid is the supermodel in question. No idea who Gigi Hadid is. And I have even less idea of who Zayn Malik is. Zayn Malik, well, he's a boy bander because I looked it up. I wouldn't come to the table here for you people and have absolutely nothing to share. So I know that he's a boy bander. I believe he's a boy bander in the same boy band that spawned that Harry Styles kid, who I'm probably not even a kid anymore, but you know what I'm saying? He's from that, what is that band called? One Direction. Look at that. Pulled that one out of there. There you go. Boys That Sing. Clovis points out, Boys That Sing. Is that the big Korean pop band? Okay, that's fine. That's where Joon Kim is from. Okay, fun. So here's the story here. Gigi Hadid and her boyfriend, One Direction singer Zayn Malik, they've broken up. Now, why did they break up? Well, let's find out. Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid have split as singer Zayn is accused of striking her mother. Now, her mother, again, another person I don't know. Also, Gigi Hadid apparently has a sister who's just as famous or maybe slightly less famous or quite possibly a little more famous. I don't know. They don't really, as I said, not my wheelhouse. Her name is Bella Hadid. Or is it Hadid? Don't really care. You know, I'm from the Christy Brinkley, Paulina Poroskovis school of supermodels, so this whole new generation escapes me. Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid have reportedly split up after the former One Direction singer was accused of striking the model's mom. Now, who is the model's mom? Someone named Yolanda Hadid, who is apparently one of them Real Housewives. Apparently, she's one of those drama lady housewives that that all of our girlfriends and wives watch, because I'm out on that. I watched a couple of episodes of Real Housewives years ago. I will admit that if you submit to the stupidity, you will get sucked in, and you will what? I used to enjoy the Real Housewives of New Jersey. They seem to have been the most volatile of the housewife girls crews. I watched some of the Real Housewives of New York. I checked in on the Real Housewives of Los Angeles. Yeah, that's about it. And then, I was like, oh, I guess I'm single again. I don't have to watch this garbage. And I fell off it. But so Yolanda Hadid, the mother of Gigi Hadid, who was struck by One Direction singer Zayn Malik, is one of them Real Housewives ladies. So take this entire story with a grain of salt, because we know how they like to blow things out of proportion. Zayn and Gigi share 13-month-old Kai together. They got a baby. And were first rumored to be dating in 2015. Oh, so they've got a little 6-year relationship going. That's good for them. Following the allegations, the former One Direction man denied that he struck the mother of his girlfriend following an argument. But the pop star has, quote, agreed to not contest claims being made in U.S. media that he hit the mom. Now, why is he doing this? He's saying that, all right, look, everybody's going around saying I hit her, whatever. I find that repulsive. I'm not the kind of guy who would hit a girl, but whatever. I'm not going to say anything because of the baby that we share. He doesn't want this to blow up into something more, so he's just going with it, hoping that it goes away, because Zane probably understands, as I do, that we have about a 24 to 48 hour attention span on such nonsense. We're going to totally forget about this story. And in a couple of months, we're going to go, well, what was that? They'll get back together. We'll totally forget it. Zane issued a statement saying, I adamantly deny striking Yolanda. Well, that doesn't sound like you're willing to not contest the charges. He issued a statement saying, I adamantly deny striking Yolanda Hadid, and for the sake of my daughter, I decline to give any further details, and I hope that Yolanda will reconsider her false allegations and move towards healing these family issues in private. Well, isn't that interesting? These well, I guess he's a legit pop star, but certainly everyone else of their generation, they don't want to ever resolve anything in private. They want clicks. They want shares. They want people buzzing about their most deepest, darkest, embarrassing, familiar situations. But apparently this is one that he doesn't want getting out there. People magazine, so you know it's true. People is reporting that Zane and Gigi have gone their separate ways. The outlet reports that the multiple sources have confirmed that the supermodel 26 and the singer 28 have broken up. A source said they are not together right now. They are both good parents, though. They co-parent. Yolanda is, of course, very protective of Gigi. She wants the best for her daughter, and grandchild. Gigi's rep said Gigi is solely focused on the best for Kai. She asked for privacy during this time. Look, it's trending number one. This is just little kid bullshit. I don't even know who these people are. So please forgive me if I'm dismissive of this. Yolanda is David Foster's ex-wife, Kate Hunter Turner points out. Really? David Foster, who is a legendary musical producer, Broadway, London, all of that stuff. Didn't he do like Cats and basically anything that's big other than, I guess, Rent? Everything that's big on Broadway, it's a David Foster thing. So they got real money there. Real money. Gigi was from the reality series Shahs of Hollywood. Okay, I remember that being a thing. I remember there being a show called The Shahs of Hollywood about Iranian or Middle Eastern moneyed kids running around the Hollywood club scene. Okay, so if that's where she comes from, if she's a reality star who's now going around as a big model, okay, all right. I got very little respect for the reality star, but I got to consider you if you're a fashion model, that's a real job, I guess. Begrudgingly, I guess that's a real gig. All right, so that's why Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid are trending today. Let's see, what else do we have here? Got anything else good? Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's time to just check in and see what new stuff is trending, and then I'll free ball it, as I like to say. We'll just run through them. There are other things I want to get into. Like I wanted to go through the new words that are added to the Webster's dictionary, words that I've never heard before, but okay. Oh God, look at this. Trending number one, Cash App treats. I don't. This is, all the money services, Venmo. I don't see PayPal doing it. Venmo does this from time to time, and it always trends number one. Cash App does it as well. Cash App is trending number one right now. And what they do is they want you to retweet the hashtag Cash App treats with your Cash App handle. What is mine? Mine is Pugscast, $Pugscast. You can support the show. You can support the show monetarily, or you can just share the show. Just spend it out, help out. Let us grow. So I guess the bit, and this is why they always trend number one, is because everybody with a Cash App is like, "Ooh, I want free cash," because they'll give away money to random people who retweet. It's a good gig. It's a good idea. It works well. So that's why Cash App treats is trending number one. Number two, currently on Twitter, Free Code Friday contest. No idea what that means. Sports is trending. PMS Halloween is currently at number three. PMS is for the Pat McAfee show. Apparently, they're doing a Halloween show today. I love Pat McAfee. You guys know who Pat McAfee is? I got so much admiration for this guy. This is a dude who was an NFL punter for the Indianapolis Colts. He was a good punter. Not only was he a good punter, but he was one of the most interesting and fun to watch punters in the history of football. He was like a crazy guy. He would do silly things. If you look here, you don't believe me, just go on YouTube and just put Pat McAfee highlights or Pat McAfee crazy moments. And you will get a highlight reel of this punter doing really silly stuff during, like there was one thing that he did, the other team's kickoff guy, I think he was kicking off for some reason. He's primarily a punter, but the other team's kickoff guy, the ball kept blowing off the tee. You know, you've seen this in NFL games where they're getting ready to kick off and then the ball falls and the kicker runs up and puts it back up. Well, he then came out to kick and he kept pretending like the ball wasn't right because the other kicker had done this. So there's tape of him running up to the ball, setting it, getting set, starting to get everyone in place for the kickoff, and then running back up to the ball, fixing it, even though there was nothing wrong, and then he'd go back. And then everybody was set, and then he'd run back up to the, and he was basically taking shots at the other kicker for doing that. So Pat McAfee is trending. Apparently they're doing a Halloween show. He's so much fun. Oh, he's also the guy who, he had a new football contract. They want, his deal was up, and the Colts wanted to re-sign him, and he said, "Yeah, you know what? No, I'm done. I'm gonna go over." And he took a deal with Barstool Sports instead of signing another NFL contract in his prime. He's still a young man. He was like, "Yeah, you know what? That was fun. I've been a kicker for a few years, but I really believe in this digital streaming. I really believe in podcasting. And I believe that if I can get on the ground floor of something like Barstool, then it might turn into something." So he goes over there, they blow him up. And then after a couple of years, he tells Barstool to go kick sand, and he starts his own thing. And now he's one of the most interesting, most quoted, most talked about sports commentator in the world of sports. And he's doing it completely different. If you like sports, if you like fun sports, Pat McAfee is fantastic. I have so much respect for what that guy has done. All right, he's trending at number 3. The Pope is trending because apparently the president is over there meeting with the Pope. Fetty Wap, we covered that. Megan the Stallion. I don't. She seems nice. Megan the Stallion seems nice. I recently saw a clip of her interacting with people on the street that were coming up to her, and she seemed really nice. There you go. Javinta Moore has been trending all day. I didn't mention this in the original rundown of the show because I don't know who Javinta Moore is. Apparently, she is an Atlanta local news personality who has passed from cancer. So God bless her. And people in Atlanta apparently loved her a lot. And so she is trending for that reason. All right. This is what happens when we do the free ball in here. Hashtag Fursuit Friday is trending. This is a furries thing. Do you guys know that I'm like obsessed with the whole furries thing, right? I think we've talked about not so much cosplay. Cosplay's weird. Cosplay's just people dressing up like cartoon characters or superheroes or whatever. Furries are even more bizarre. Furries are people who dress up as plushie toys. You know, they wear like a Yogi Bear costume or something. And then they go and they like have crazy sex in the costumes. At least that's what I imagine happens. I don't know. Furries celebrate Fursuit Friday by sharing photos of their unique costumes. Weird people get a lane too. Just acknowledge that. And if you can be okay with the fact that there are lanes for all of us, weird people get their lanes. Just stay out of it if it's not your thing. Iron Fist is trending. UCSB is trending. Clayton Bigsby. Who's Clayton Bigsby? Should I know this name? Let's see here. Clayton Bigsby. It's political. Never mind. Never mind. Don't want anything to do that. Ice Cube is trending. All right, so there's nothing real. Cooper Rush is still trending. We talked about that. Remember, there is no way in hell that Dak Prescott doesn't start on Sunday night, Halloween night, Sunday Night Football. They're trying to get it out there that Dak might not play because he's got a hamstring issue or calf issue, whatever it is. Dak is a big stage performer. He is in line for serious consideration for NFL MVP for this year. He is going to play on one of the biggest nights for Sunday Night Football, Halloween night. This is going to be a huge game. Minnesota Vikings. He's going to throw for 500 yards. You'll see. He's going to play. Patriot Purge. That can't be good. I'm not going to touch that. Winona Ryder. We talked about that. Let me see here. Biker. Amy Henning. Macron. President Biden and President Emmanuel Macron. Yeah, I don't want to go into that. All right. So we're all caught up. Back to the stuff that we're prepared to talk about. So we did the Gigi Hadad story. Adam Kinzinger is political. He's not seeking re-election in Illinois as a congressman. He's the guy that he's one of the two Republicans that broke from the MAGA wing of the new Republican Party. He is not seeking re-election. And the news is all pushing this story. He's not seeking re-election, but it's not because he's done. It's because that dude wants to be president. I was arguing with my boy Ed, who is another Chicagoan, and he's very up on Chicago and Illinois politics. He disagrees with me that Adam Kinzinger isn't running for congressman because he wants to be governor of Illinois. That's what he's going to be. I believe he's going to go after the governor's chair in Illinois. He's going to try and be governor. He's going to spin that into a presidential run. And he's going to play the whole thing that, look at me, I'm not a crazy person. I am a conservative. I am a Republican, but I'm not a nutbag. That will appeal to moderate Democrats who don't want to be associated with the AOC Bernie Sanders wing of craziness. Look, both our political parties have craziness. The people that I hope to God are going to rise to the top in the next few years are going to be people like Adam Kinzinger. Are going to be people who acknowledge the insanity on both sides, but also make an effort to appeal to people like me, people like you. But most of you are with me. We're in the middle. We see look who's doing politics. I shall not go there. We're done. We're done with the politics stuff. Okay, here was a funny little video. I'll show you this. This happened today. First Take, which is another sports show, is trending today. First Take is Stephen A. Smith and Jalen Rose's wife. I don't know her name, but she's the moderator. And sometimes it's Skip Bayless, or is it always Skip Bayless? I don't know. In this particular episode of First Take, they were on location. It looks like they're somewhere. Is this? Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, they're outside. Actually, I don't know what this is. Maybe this isn't. This is just what came up when I clicked on the First Take thing. Okay, yeah, it was posted this morning, so maybe this is from today. Anyway, it's fun. Anyone who knows me knows that I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is like just the absolute. Maybe he's a nice guy to go out and cut up a steak with. I don't know. But on the air, Stephen A. Smith irritates me to no end. So today they had a guest, and again, maybe it wasn't today. Maybe this is from before, but it was posted this morning. They had a guest in big time television superstar, movie superstar, stand-up comedian Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart joined the crew of First Take, and he slayed Stephen A. Smith. It was pretty good. So let's enjoy this. Here we go. Kevin Hart on Stephen A. Smith.
Why did you have to take 45 seconds of our life that we can never get back to say what you just said? It was an easy answer. We all knew the answer. Why did you take so long? I gotta tell you, and another thing, and if you know anything about me, I'm objective. And the thing about being objective is understanding when to apply objection. So in this case, I'm gonna go down the road of objectifying, and I'm gonna let you know what you may not. The answer is no. No, you're not going to make it. You know that. No. Why did you?
All right, so there you go. I completely endorse that characterization of Stephen A. Smith, and I'm also a fan of Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart. I used to not get Kevin Hart. I used to not, I didn't understand his whole bit, his stand-up comedy didn't hit home with me. And then I started seeing him in more conversational settings where he was talking with people. And then I saw a couple of his movies because my young son, 12-year-old, loves Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart now. He totally won me over. Kevin Hart seems like an absolutely wonderful dude. He seems like what I love most about him is that he doesn't seem to be affected by his superstar status. And make no mistake, Kevin Hart is a superstar. This guy has, as far as Hollywood films are concerned, it may not be nominated for any Academy Awards, but, he's in that Jim Carrey in 1995 lane at the moment, where every single one of his movies just does huge numbers. He's a really cool guy. Well, seemingly a really cool guy. So there you go. Stephen A. Smith getting torched by Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart saying absolutely everything that we're all thinking whenever Stephen A. Smith takes 3 minutes to give a yes or no answer. Little vocal gymnastics and all that bullshit. Okay, so what else do we want to get into? Oh, this was fun. Okay, so Webster's was trending today. Webster's, of course, of the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Here we go. Let's do this. They have added new words to the Webster's dictionary for 2021. And I looked at this and I don't actually, it's trending under the idea that millennials have no idea what these words are. I'm Gen X. I'm even older than millennials. And that's the whole point of the article where these are trending off of. It's that millennials are so old now, they're out of touch with the new phrases and words that younger people are using. I'm Gen X, so that boat has sailed for me. I have absolutely no idea. So let's see here. Oh, the sheriffs right now, or the cop. Yeah, sheriffs are doing a sheriff criminal summons was issued after investigation. Sheriff Craig Apple, breaking news. Sheriff Craig Apple of Albany County, New York, is explaining why they've indicted or arrested or whatever the deal is former governor Andrew Cuomo. Because he's a perv? Maybe that's why? No explanation needed. Did you know that, James Parker likes to point this out. Did you know that Andrew Cuomo has both of his nipples pierced? This dude's in his 60s, and he's got both of his nipples pierced. Look, I'm not saying maybe if I had a conversation with him about it, he could explain to me why it's okay. But I ain't having a conversation with him because he's currently got bigger fish to fry. That's just weird. Can we just say that is weird? And it really does bespeak some weird, fetishy, sexual, bizarro thing that he's into. You don't want that from your governor. All right, so back to the new words that have been entered. We'll play along here with the chat room. Maybe some of you might know these words. 0 day, 0-day is a new phrase in Merriam-Webster's dictionary. What do you think that means? What it means is a vulnerability that is discovered and exploited by cyber criminals before it is fixed. 0 day. So I guess between the hackers hacking into your stuff and you figuring out that your stuff has been hacked and you make the necessary changes, I guess that time period is called 0 day. Blank check company is another word that has been added to the dictionary or phrase. Blank check is a synonym for special purpose acquisition company. See, I don't even know what that is. I don't. It means the same thing as a special purpose acquisition company and has nothing to do with writing fake checks to a okay, blank check company. There you go. That's deplatform. Now that I've heard before. I've heard of the phrase deplatform. Deplatform is a new word that's been added to the Webster's dictionary. Let's see here. It means to prevent from having or providing a platform to communicate. So, like being canceled. Like, okay, here's a good example. So Twitter has deplatformed President Trump. That's an example of the word because, they kicked him off Twitter. Here's another one that has been added to Webster's dictionary. New words. Oobleck. Capital O, small o, B-L-E-C-K. Oobleck. It's a word for a specific type of slime inspired by Dr. Seuss. Okay. Okay. Right? How about teraflop? New word added to Merriam-Webster's dictionary that has people all over the internet scratching their heads. Teraflop. Teraflop, a unit of measure for the calculating speed of a computer equal to 1 trillion. You got that? So a teraflop is a unit of measure used for calculating the speed of a computer that's equal to 1 trillion. That's all. That may be a foreign language to me. I don't know what any of that stuff means. Yeah, okay, that's all of them. There you go. The new words added to Merriam-Webster's dictionary for the calendar year 2021. Teraflop, oobleck, deplatform, blank check company, and 0 day. There you go. So now you're all up on that, if that's your thing. Okay, let's see what else we have. Is there anything that we can go out here with easy? See, now that segment right there, that segment probably would have taken 25 minutes of showtime if James or Sunglasses were with me, but they're not with me, so you just have to run through it really quickly. Once again, I'll point out, Happy National Cat Day for those of you who like those infernal bastard animals. I had a couple of questions. Oh, there is something that I wanted to mention here because if you've been with us on this show since the beginning, you may remember that I used to say that one of the aspects of this show, we do it twice a day. We do the high noon show, which you're listening to right now, which is more about all the things that are trending and all the things that people are talking about. We try to give you a little cheat sheet on your day and, make sure that you're up on everything. That's the purpose. This is a utilitarian show. Then we do a second show that comes on at 10 o'clock at night until Monday. We're moving it back to 9. So actually, you know what? Yeah, so just the next time we're going to do a Pillow Talk, it will air at 9 to 11 as opposed to 10 to midnight. The Pillow Talk show is more of, we have more guests in, we have people we screw around. James Parker is a regular. Sunglasses is always here with us. A little bit more fun, a little bit more loose, a little bit more silly kinds of stuff. So whereas this show, the noon show, is more utilitarian with trending topics and all of the current events topics, the Pillow Talk show is a little bit stranger. Now, as I was saying, if you listen to the very beginning of these offerings that we've been putting together now for a few months, you might remember I said that one of the other things, reasons for you to subscribe, reasons for you to make sure that you're following the show is because whenever big news breaks, I wanted to have the ability to just jump in and cover it live. And by big news, what I'm talking about is, like massive train derailment. God forbid we have another crazy shooting where like massive people, this might happen at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And if I catch it, I want to jump on and be able to talk about it. Big giant breaking news stories that occur, that have been occurring quite regularly over the last few years. One of the aspects of this show is that I wanted to be able to jump in and do that. And somebody asked me last night, hey, whatever happened with that? And I'm like, well, here's what happened with that. We've been doing 2 shows a day at noon and 10 o'clock, and we have covered a number of these breaking news stories as they happen. It's just that they've all happened within an hour or so of our regularly scheduled show. So they've always just there's not, and thankfully we really haven't had anything like, the Tree of Life synagogue shooting or the Las Vegas country concert shooting or, terrible, a plane crash or, celebrity deaths. We've had a couple of big celebrities, like when Norm Macdonald died. That was a good one. When Norm Macdonald died, I would have broken in and we'd have done a little bit of a Norm Macdonald thing for a half hour or so, and you'd be all up on it and you'd know all the details. But when Norm Macdonald died, it was in the middle of the high noon show when that came out. So just rest assured that if you are going to follow the show and you're going to do all of that stuff, you hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're following us on Facebook at Pugs Company, make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you get all of the updates and because that is still part of the game plan here. It's just that there hasn't been many opportunities to do such things. Saturdays, a show when we don't do any regularly scheduled shows. Should something happen on a Saturday, I still have every intention of jumping on and covering it and doing something special. It's not because I don't want to do it. I really do want to do it. But I guess we can look at it from the perspective of we're blessed that something terrible hasn't gone down in the last couple of weeks or a couple of months since we've been doing the show. All right, once again, the big stories that we covered today here on the show. Cooper Rush is trending. He is not going to start. Dak Prescott will start, please, even though they're trying to make it seem like he's going to start. Elon Musk is saying that he wants to start a brand new university here in the great state of Texas, and it will be called TITS University, the Texas Institute of Technology and Sciences. So that's a thing. We talked about him. We talked about Winona Ryder's birthday, the Cleveland Guardians story. Cleveland Guardians can't call themselves Cleveland Guardians until they cut a check to the owner of the Cleveland Guardians roller derby team. Fetty Wap, the hip hop star, was arrested at Citi Field in New York and charged with, I don't know, it looks like a big drug trafficking thing, heroin, pills, cocaine, all of that stuff. And yeah, that's really about it. You know what? Let's try one more thing. We got a couple of minutes. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what the Google trends have saying right now, because they are oftentimes different than the Twitter trends. People on Twitter are just bitching and moaning about stuff, and stuff that we cover from the Twitter trends are just things that people are, triggered by. Whereas Google has to do more with what people are searching for and what they're interested in. Okay, and we've got the Atlanta television news anchor. She's trending at number 1. Pakistan, Sarah, Duchess of York. There's nothing we need to know about her. A lot of sports stuff, more Gigi Hadid, some Harry Styles stuff. There's nothing. It's a slow news day. It's Halloween weekend. It's, people aren't really. Australian men's cricket team. I can do the last 5 minutes of the show on the Australian men's cricket team. We can do that, but I won't. Oh, also, did you see the creepy Zuckerberg video that was released yesterday? Because Zuckerberg is trending here now. Apparently, we talked about the story on the High Noon Show a couple of weeks back when it was announced that Facebook was looking to rebrand and change their name. Well, that has changed over the last couple of weeks. They are changing the name of the new company, the parent company that oversees Facebook and all of the entities that are there with Facebook. It used to just be called Facebook in the Facebook family of companies, but now it's going to be called Meta. And Mark Zuckerberg made the weirdest video last night. He's such an awkward, weird guy, where he was, wearing what a, tech guy is supposed to wear: black pants, black sweater, long sleeves, staring, dead eye stare into the camera and reciting something that he's obviously rehearsed 1,000 times before they hit record on the camera. And he explained that he was there was a new parent company, and the parent company of Facebook is Meta. But that's not the most interesting thing about it. If you have a chance, Google search the Mark Zuckerberg video. Mark Zuckerberg is one of the wealthiest people on the planet, right? And he's doing this from what is supposed to be like his study, his where he gets all of his crazy Facebook ideas from, his workplace, whatever. And behind him, the way I have pictures behind me, behind him is a bookshelf. And there are books on the bookshelf. And what caused everyone's attention is that there is a bookend that he is using to keep his books together. And it's not a bookend at all. It's a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. There's just a bottle of barbecue sauce being used as a bookend in the study of one of the world's wealthiest men. So, that's been trending all week. Or not all week, for the last couple of days or last couple of hours, certainly since last night when the video came out. Sweet Baby Ray's was trending. Mark Zuckerberg was trending. Meta was trending. And Meta is, I guess, we're burying the lead here. Although the most important thing is what I need to know what that's about. What Mark Zuckerberg needed a bookend and he had a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's handy. That's what somebody who lives in a studio apartment would use as a bookend, because they're also in their kitchen and it's right there handy. This guy, I'd have to imagine that the place in the mansion Mark Zuckerberg lives in where the Sweet Baby Ray's sauce is kept is a good 50 yards at least away from where the study is. So, you know what? Here, I'm going to show that. You think I'm crazy? Oh, Pugs, you're nuts. You're absolutely out of your mind. Hold on. Let me show you. Hold on. I'll pull up this damn picture. I'll show you. What is it? Berg. Berg. But now, look at the first thing that comes up is barbecue sauce. Okay, here we go. This is so weird. Okay, so here we go. We'll pull this up. And I'll show it to you. Okay, here we go. You think I'm crazy? Look at how weird this looks. Boom, right there. Do you see the bottle of sweet here? Right here. So here's this bookcase. That is a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray Southside pig sauce right there. That's what that is. Now, look, as a fan of pork barbecue, I do believe in the pork barbecue sauce, pig sauce, as we call it. Sweet Baby Ray's is my favorite. They're the spicy Sweet Baby Ray's. Oh, I get some back ribs that better be basted in some Sweet Baby Ray's. I'm also from the south side of Chicago, and so is Sweet Baby Ray. So, it's kind of like a hometown sauce. But what the hell is this? What is that's silly, right? Yeah, it's silly. All right, that's going to do it. I think we're going to round out the show here. What time is it? Oh, look at it. It's 59. Once again, folks, as we say, please like and share the show. Tell people about it. We're trying to grow this audience. We don't have any advertisers. Your kindness, your generosity, you can tip the show at any time by visiting any of those places down there. Venmo, PayPal, Pugscast, on a Cash App. So all of those things are greatly appreciated. Again, I woke up this morning and I saw Carlos and April had helped out the show again this month. Both of them. Greatly appreciated. We thank you for it. Also, what else do I have to tell you? Oh, yeah. Be following. I'm not entirely certain that we are going to do a show on Halloween night. If we do, it will most assuredly be following the Cowboy game. I know that we said that we're not going to do the 10:30 shows anymore because of football. But I believe I made a caveat there. Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, Dallas Cowboy games. If any of those games ever fall during the 10 to 10:30 time slot, we will delay the show because, well, we get to do that because we get to do the show whenever we want. And that's going to be about it, I guess. That's going to be it. I'm going to send you off with America's favorite failed presidential assassin, John Hinckley, and his beautiful song, Hold On to What Is True. This is a new one. I know, right? We're playing the hits. We're delving into his catalog. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Be safe. And remember, don't eat the candy straight from the bag. Take it home. Check it for razor blades. Never found a razor blade. In all of my years, that was always just wasted time. Okay, bye, everybody. But still do it. Don't. Oh, the fat guy streaming live said no. I just hope we get along any kind of way. I will stand for what is right. Make it good for you. Can I point out something? Someone came up to me and said, they didn't come up to me. I don't interact with people in real life. This was on Facebook. They said, how much of John Hinckley's material did you have to go through to find those songs? And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, both of those songs that you've been playing are really catchy. I'm like, yeah. I didn't have to go through anything. I just picked random songs. John Hinckley knows how to write songs, is what I'm saying. This song right here, the one you're listening to, this was a mistake. I thought it was the other one that was queued up, and I just hit the button, and now it's playing another random John Hinckley song. And let me tell you, we'll probably like this one too. John Hinckley can write a song. That's all I'm saying. I'll leave you with that. And also, separate the art from the artist. In this case, it helps you sleep better at night. Bye, everybody. Live my life, toe the line, hold on to what is true. I have come so very far from where I was before. I was feeling sad and lonely, lying on the floor. Oh, also, here I wanted to mention this. I decided that if I ever get married again, our wedding song is going to be one of these John Hinckley songs. It is. Okay, go back to listening to this one. So blue.
Live my life, toe the line, hold on to what is true. Now the nights are tranquil, they aren't quite so long. I am feeling hopeful, I am feeling strong. I will keep on doing all the things I have to do. Live my life, toe the line, hold on to what is true. I will keep on doing all the things I have to do. Live my life, toe the line, hold on to what is true.
The man can write a lyric is all.